So basically, I think that the extreme was for the majority clean, that this is not the one which should really hold at the end, because it's simply the trap. That's why I mapped out the daily high and low. And what I wanted to see is actually that this will go like here and then to continue to drop down. Now that was very close here, as you can see. I've seen it at 10.20. I didn't enter here at the short. I looked to enter when it came to the pullback, but then you see how strange it moved. And also it was quite late already. So it was 10:45. So what I wanted to see is in reality just a reaction when price will come to feel like the imbalance here, the range, and I believed, okay, maybe we will go straight down. And if we would get here some nice entry confirmation, then I would take it. But as you can see, we kept on moving lower, up, low, up, low, up. And then finally, it just continued up higher, taking out one more time the high and so on. And now we are kind of dropping down, but also now we're not 100% sure what it will do. I personally still believe that this is what is going to happen, that we will go straight down now. I don't think that we will go up higher. This M15 candle is a nice entry candle confirmation. It didn't sweep now the low of the candle, but it's okay that it didn't. Would have been better if it would do it, didn't. So right now, just as a quick outlook, because at 1 o'clock you can look for some entries. You see here is an imbalance. The imbalance more than likely will have the chance to provide us the entry. So that's how I view it. I'm trying to look for something like this in the New York session. So today I'm going to trade it because didn't capitalize on something. I just made that one loss. Yeah, that's it. I did took a nice long in the, but just on the challenge, on the verification for this. I think that one was quite obvious. So when I've seen the market opening, I don't know right now what price I call, but I've seen it. Had stop loss from the start below this, and it just took off. So that one was, when I've seen, okay, 8 o'clock news, it was like 100% that this will happen. Now I believe because the news have been just
Darius, sorry
yeah.
for the interruption. That thing that mark the up and down of the candle, the previous candle daily, is something that you usually do.
The high and the low.
Yes, the previous candle, the daily previous candle. Do you do that often?
It depends. It's definitely nice to have it. It's not something which you need to do, because you never know if sometimes 2 daily candles will be taken out. So as you can see here on Friday, we did took out this. Okay, this one. You see, it got respected, but then went up higher. Also, that was a better example here. This one, you see, it did took out. Also that one was taken out. So it's not relevant right now to always map it out, but definitely it is high liquidity. So daily highs and lows are a big source of liquidity. You just need to understand then that if you swept the daily high or low, you also should look to see, what do you got else? Do you got any fill of imbalance or something? That's like the only problem right now. What I see in this case is that we still didn't fill this. So more than likely, now we may see a push down, but we may also continue up higher at some point.
Yeah, maybe to grab some liquidity
Yes.
down to go up, right? And fill the imbalance. Okay.
Exactly. That should be the perspective right now. So I also don't know how far we will go down now. Specifically, maybe sweeping the Asia low could be an option. Would be crazy if we will do. I don't really believe that we will go like crazy down now at this point. As I see here, this imbalance, expecting this one to get filled, or it can be filled. Yeah, it's hard right now, because you see, we also, what we did is we didn't swap this. You didn't swap this source of liquidity.
Yeah.
If that would be the case, then 100% I would believe, hey, we fill the imbalance. Now, what can happen is still that this will be left as an imbalance here at the top. Price now will go down, take this, balance this, and then go and fill this.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
It's quite hard. So also for me, it's that's still kind of a secret. Okay, when 100% price will do this movement or the other movement, it's we need a little bit more time, I would say. Maybe
Yeah.
1-2 years then figuring this out as well. Just try to always view it like that. Like you said, also you're looking for price to grab some form of liquidity to go then into that one specific direction. And now that we, for instance, did took out 4-hour high, which is also daily high, now you have liquidity actually to go down. You see you got here the imbalance. So on the 4-hour, maybe we will go just fill this and go up higher to fill the other one or not. But whatever realistic is that we will push till here. So that's around 50 pips, which we can target easily.
Okay. Okay. And how do you do when? Can you put the time frame, the previous time frame that you had?
What time frame?
The previous one that you had.
4-hour.
Yeah. So in this case, sometimes the price, in this case, maybe the price come to here and just feel a little bit of this imbalance, okay?
Yeah.
And then go up. How do I know, or how can I know the price will be making a retrace back to here and then go up, or maybe here and then go back to down to the low? How can I know when is the exact moment for making okay, I'm now going down, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna make shorts?
Okay, great. I will show you. So for instance, we had like this type of example was actually yesterday. So let's just make a new clean chart. So yesterday was really beautiful on how price developed everything. So you had here, if you have a look on this, the imbalance was from here till here.
Yes.
That was the imbalance from yesterday. Now, you see that first we hit just this level.
Yeah.
And because we had a source of liquidity, okay, it depends, of course, what kind of source of liquidity you have. But more than likely, if you see like you got this, so from the start, this was like your trend line liquidity.
Exactly.
And part of this trend line liquidity, it was also the Asia high. Now, when you sweep that, and now what you need to follow immediately when this happens, you see this. Where is the next target? If you have right now fuel, you have a lot of fuel right now because we pushed up. You can also see we swept previously something down. We came back up. That is your break of structure. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But we are trending up since this point here. Now, have a look on the imbalances. Where is your imbalance where you expect price to hold? You need to stay in the current context. So right now, like your most recent break of structure was here. Happened. We broke the structure, pushed up, filled a part of the imbalance.
Yes.
Now we know that we could go till here, but that is not something which you should expect. That's why I mapped out from the start this level, because I'm only going to look at this level to see how it will react, because the lower time frame will provide you the entry like this if that is a POI. If it's not going to do that, we will just climb till here. Very often, price would just make one movement, one single candle, which will make like 5 to 10 pips, something like that, and it will activate immediately the order. Because you need to understand, at these imbalances, what will happen? An institution is going to activate their position. And that's all you need to look for. And you need to just wait until that will happen. So understanding when that moment will occur. And now, of course, you can use concepts like M1 break of structure. Can use all different concepts where you think that this is showing you that this will happen. At the end, the price will show you that in a certain way. The way and how we like to use it is simply by using our Japanese candlesticks to see bearish engulfing, something like that, bearish pin bar. You can combine it with break of structure, providing the imbalance, fill it afterwards, and so on. That's how you can know then at the end, okay, cool, they're executing that. And when you see that, then boom, they are going to bring price down. And they are not going to bring it just for pullback, because you know, oh, we need to fill the full imbalance. So I'm very smart. What I'm doing is right now, because price now provided me here a form of imbalance, right? That is your imbalance now. So you cannot expect this in a situation like this. If this point here can be a reversal point, as this is the liquidity plus the imbalance for you. So you cannot expect this scenario. That's like the trap. That's already right now the trap. That's the trap demand. So that means right now for you, because this one made the push to fill the imbalance and to target the liquidity, exactly at this point here, the order from that one institution is laying. So what you need to expect is the price will provide you move down, move up, and drop, and taking everything out. In this case, everything is supported perfectly with the Asia session liquidity, and you just go because the low needs to go here automatically. This one will just be something, and that's where I closed, for instance, yesterday the short, because I believed, hey, maybe this one will provide me now with a pullback. Maybe I'm going to get then a separate entry or something like that. But that's not something that you should look for. So price will target automatically the next liquidity level, because what is from this point here, if they engineer the market like that, that they need to, they activate the order here. They need to collect fuel, and the fuel is exactly here to do then what? To target this as new liquidity, and then to come to fill the full imbalance. So automatically what price needs to do from here is to target this, and then it can give you a reaction.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so you need to always put it into place like that. Sometimes it's easier to recognize, sometimes it's not that easy to recognize. Like here today, of course, that is clean. This is definitely clean. But now you just know from this moment, hey, the chances are quite good that we will go and take the high, because look at these candles. They're all bearish in this case, all bearish. So it's like just one movement. If you have these bullish candles in between, so that's why it's super important to look on the candle colors from my point of view. That's how I evaluate at the end a lot of my thing, a lot of things for my trading, because now this straight thing to the downside just means, in other words, it's liquidity which will be targeted automatically. If you would have had like here like blue candles, green candles, that mean, okay, that's maybe a supply zone, an order block, which may push price down. But in reality, what happens the first time, as you can see, it's closing bullish. Now, of course, here, as you can see, we went one more time down. We did took out this candle. It's not relevant because you didn't took out the low. So keep that in mind. So it happens. It's just trap movements at the end.
Okay.
Will be more visible if you are maybe on the lower time frame. In this case, definitely a strong manipulation movement, but it is because of the dead zone. So it's not relevant for us. That's why I'm not trading the dead zone, or why you should not do it either. And then you see how this is pushing the price up from here with non-pullbacks. The only pullbacks, as you can see here, some small red candles, that's it, but not a serious movement for a pullback, because that's like from the start liquidity. Now hitting this, now what you expect is the counter direction.
Okay.
Boom. You see also here, it's just melting through it. It's nothing relevant, because in this case, everything was again balanced. In this case, you had no imbalance to fill. On the left side here, for instance, you had imbalances. You had this one. That's why I said, hey, maybe from here we may have a cool short, or we just push up higher. Boom, boom. That's how we fixed it. The imbalance here spoke against it. The imbalance protected the bullish movement, went up higher. And now here, when you see price moving down, that was, again, an imbalance, but was in this case a trap. Why? Because from where does the power come? From the upside now, because you filled everything from the upside. You filled something on a higher time frame to the left. So it needs to take out the low.
Yeah.
That's the trap.
Yeah, what confuses me very often is that as SMC traders, we've always been taught that you have to wait until the price reaches the order block, or in this case, the supply zone, which is this one.
Yeah.
So in this case, I don't know. I mean, I'm not counting with the price reacting from the imbalance to then go take the next low, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a bit confusing to me. Well, that's it, I suppose. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Well, basically, always remember that when you got an imbalance, right? You got like two levels. The first one when it taps into it, and then the last one when it's filled. So that's like the partial fill. Whenever it just feels partial of it, it doesn't mean right now that I mean, it means that if it feels like that, it's still liquidity because it needs to fill fully. It doesn't mean that it will do it immediately. Very often it needs, again, fuel to come to it. So that's exactly what SMC traders do not really have a look at. I mean, also me, I've never traded like that I said, hey, cool, filling imbalance. I would always wait for price to come to my POI and then to execute the position. But as you can see, you will not understand a lot of things because this way they are actually creating the liquidity for the future so that the order block at the end really works. But
Okay.
you see it's still moving pretty fast.
Yeah, that makes sense, of course.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you, Darius.
You're welcome. Yeah. Will do you just follow system?
Yeah, this was just my answer to him when he said, like, how do you know? How can you know that it will reverse? That's why I just said that.
Exactly. On point.
Yeah. If we go today on 15 minutes, right? Maybe the reason we head to the extreme as well, because there are a lot more imbalances. So I noticed as well, like from data as well, from GU, if you have more these imbalances or zones, whatever, it's kind of tricky to trade. Like maybe we can just stay away or, wait for extreme to get tagged and then we wait for confirmations.
True.
Yeah. Well, look, Darius, but you cannot win them all. It's enough, man. You need to have one loss at least, man.
Yeah. It is what it is, but it's still quite, it's I don't
Yeah.
really enjoy losses, if I'm honest.
I know.
It's
They're insane, man. Insane.
It's okay. So, like I said, today was a little bit.
Yo, leave it a little bit to the retail traders. I mean, we are retailers as well, but still, you know what I mean.
Sure. Let's see how long.
Exactly.
So, let's just go a little bit here. Let's go that thing here step by step. So, like I said, for me, it was quite a weird feeling when I've seen like what I've seen here at some point. Still try to stay confident in what I believe in right now is the higher chance. I couldn't right now like expect from the start to say, yeah, cool, the high will go. Even though, if I'm honest, this type of scenario, when I've seen it, while it was created and then just keep going the whole time higher, it just reminded me automatically an example where price then just, smash the high and go down lower. Try to look after it today, but haven't seen it. It's still a while ago right now, but you see that these things do repeat a lot. Sometimes, I mean, just like this example here with the low was the same like here with the high. So it was the exact same example just on the next day. And that's quite interesting. Maybe it is because some institutions, just are still active in this one. So we know there are a ton of institutions who are running the market and so on, and how they place their orders and so on. I don't know why it is like that, but the market at the end, everything is planned, everything is executed. And when you're trading this type of strategy, you will see how you will just recognize your own losses. Very often it's like that. Me personally, when I make losses, it's one that I already made, because I fall for the same trap a few times until I recognize it finally, to not get into it one more time. And today, like when I've seen price continue to move up higher, I was like, oh no, hopefully it's not that one scenario and it will just take me out. And that's exactly what it did. And then also I was not too confident to share anything else on what to expect, because I was not by myself too confident, as I may expect it maybe that the high will go. I mean, this one was never an option to look for this, because that's exactly, you need to understand, this order block is something which everybody looks at, especially after price is moving up higher, because everybody's telling you follow the trend and everybody's telling you sell at high prices. So how do you ensure in a market like that that you're still the winner as the institution? Well, you just continue with the trend. You break here the structure, right? To activate all these buy stops from the retailers and so on, and of course all other systems and so on. You make SMC traders believe that this thing here needs to reverse from here. You make believe support resistance traders that price needs to reverse from here, and all these things. And that's exactly where price from the start will go straight to this point, and then from here you have then the chance for a reversal. Now let's see what will really happen. Maybe we will just keep on pushing higher, but normally it is like that. If Frankfurt was bullish, London was bullish, now New York is not, it's to a very high chance bearish. Okay, so that's why I personally expect more than likely New York to be bearish. But also on Friday we had a day where you had bearish New York, bearish Frankfurt, bearish London, and bearish New York. So 3 sessions in a row bearish. So we don't know if also today maybe that will happen again. Chances is definitely always here. Keep that a little bit in mind. Maybe it helps you to have a different perspective to it. So personally, I will try to look for some shorts. Let's see then where we are at around 1 o'clock to see if we can see something. But for now, if we just go right now step by step through the price action of Frankfurt, and we had that one news event at 8 o'clock. Now, I don't recommend you guys to just trade that immediately. So when you see prices up and you know there are news, what is price supposed to do when there are news? News is going always straight to liquidity and to imbalance. So your only imbalance that you have is like this is the imbalance starting from here, but that's then the liquidity, right? Where the imbalance starts, that's the liquidity. And when the imbalance is filled, that's when the efficient market is provided. So that's the only thing that you can't even have on your charts, because anything else is irrelevant. Looking on the M15, the only thing that you can look for is, oh, okay, I got an imbalance, which is here, right? Here, the liquidity starts, right? Liquidity starts. We tap into liquidity. So you have right now like the fuel to go down, and that is here at the top, your target, or maybe even this, okay? Can also be this. That's how you can have a perspective to the start. If you look at these things right now, you can also see, but maybe this is liquidity. Then going up higher, maybe this. When you have like this type of analysis, like I did today here, as you can see, I say, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. In most of the cases, if that is like how you follow up the trend, this is the target very often. Just like I said, today I was not too sure. As I said, maybe it's still a good POI here. It doesn't look too bad. But very often, if you see like this, especially right now, you got like 2 imbalances that you can see with your eyes straight. These 2 imbalances, we can see them pretty good. When you have 2 imbalances, very often first one won't work, or if the first one will work, only like this. And for me today, that was also the perspective that I had. I didn't want right now to target, oh, I'm going straight to the low because price now will go to 1.20 or something like that. All I wanted with a potential short after filling this imbalance was to potentially hunt the low, because the low didn't really made something. The low, maybe yes, maybe did something, maybe it filled this imbalance, and that's why it's supposed to go up higher. That's maybe something which I ignored a little bit today, or I didn't had that perspective to it. Could be a chance. I just had the whole time the perspective to it like this. Didn't really swap some form of liquidity. Not, this is not liquidity. That's nothing. It's too less. Dragging this to the left, you see, it filled the imbalance here, of course, can ensure higher prices, but I've seen this and I said, okay, cool. That is maybe my target then, because we filled this imbalance to do what? To run the high. Okay, we did this to run the high, but then to run the low. So that was like the perspective to it. And that's why I said, okay, from the start, cool. We got this type of scenario. We may do like this. And then we could go like higher. That was like what I had in my mind. But like I said, the moment when you need to understand always the current context. So you look on this. It's cool if you have it from the day before the analysis, say, okay, cool, that's what happened, right? To have a story around it, to say, okay, cool, that's where we are. Then, okay, we also broke this and so on. Now we're in this context, trying to understand what will happen next. But when you're doing it like this, that you understand, okay, you got this imbalance, you got this liquidity, you got this, very often price will take everything out. Even though like you got here the liquidity for this order block, that's how it is taught always. It's not that bad because that's the inducement for it. But you see, it's not a concept which is strong or something, because also that one will be victim to the market in very, very often at the end. So try to target this automatically, especially if you understand that that's the daily high as well. Okay, and it will be always daily high because you are in this context right now. So daily high, daily low. Interesting for you. Try to map it out. Like I said, it's not relevant always, but it can help you a lot very often. So I'm doing it that, like I said, also monthly highs and lows, weekly highs and lows, same thing. They can be very powerful sometimes, but don't think like, okay, I'm above daily high, I need to sell. I'm below daily low, I need to buy. It's not like that. If it's supported with all the other things, yes. If not, then no. Same like with Asia. Also, you're not selling every time when you're above Asia high. Okay. Balance this. Potential balance here, like I said. Liquidity here. Balance here. Balance potentially here. And that's like already the problem. So for you, M1, and that was the only thing which was clean to me. I understood the situation. You see, everything is balanced. In this context, that's the only one which price can go for. News event, boom. That's what needs to happen. That's exactly what needs to happen. So you could place by limit, or you whatever you prefer. For me, it was market execution. The price that I got, that's how I entered, and boom. Could have been doing it like this, would be perfect. And you see, you can go for a lot of pips at the end, can target this, whatever you prefer at the end. And then you see already when price is at this level here, you cannot go short because that's an inside bar. Giving you a reaction, of course, but why it's giving you that reaction? Just to come down to fill the imbalance. Boom. We can continue up higher. So for me, it was like when I've seen this, show you this.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Okay, since you said like this is inside bar, isn't this as well like nice bearish rejection, like a pin bar? And then after I saw when you entered, I thought this is inside bar, that you classified that inside bar as well, since bullish candle was more bigger than bearish candle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what it needs to take out.
Oh, I thought this is already enough. Like I know you saw in some example of videos that they tend to scare us as well, with these bullish candles.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, they will
Yeah.
do this, and then just
that's
go
correct.
here.
That's correct. So, like I said, you can use it, but it's like very often they
Mm,
scare you with that candle. But still, it would be nice if it's going to be taken out. So we had like yesterday the same example. Here, you see, they scare you with that candle, but you see the pin bar is here
Yeah, nice,
after it
nice.
erupted. So that's like the best example to go for. If you go like here, you can do that, but if you have the stop loss here, you will be just stopped out by a couple of pipette.
Yeah, I did protect the high as well, but
Right.
idea was right, but I guess not in that time, I mean,
Yeah.
it failed.
So I recommend you can use this
Mhm.
if it's taking the high now one more time,
Okay, makes sense.
and
Okay.
then it's making an inside bar. You can take that because you grabbed one more time the liquidity. That way, you just tapped into the POI. You have just an internal rejection, and that is too less in.
Because I know I watched a lot of your videos as well, and you don't prefer inside bars in extremes as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you can use the inside bars if you're like internally now and you expect now the bullishness. Inside bar would make more sense.
Okay.
Because it's like supported by the trend. This one is against the trend, against the current trend, and that's why an inside bar is too less.
Okay, thanks.
Great. So now you see we filled the imbalance, and now the interesting thing is you can have the perspective to it. Let's say you want to go for bearish, and that's why I wanted to go bearish. So what I mapped out the whole time is how can I go bearish? So the first time, so I've seen this, right? Seen feeling this, but that's not where I want to get into it, especially if I'm still expecting this one to be taken out, as that's too less. Right now, the pressure is definitely from the bulls, right? The bulls are in control right now. Balancing this, coming up higher. That's an imbalance. And maybe price now would just go up higher to balance this and to go down. Can be the chance. Let's see what happens. You have now a bullish reaction after you fill the imbalance. Can be a signal for you now to say, cool, you go long now, because in this case, you did took out the low. That's exactly the confirmation for you to go. Exactly. Also this one can be right now like the real imbalance that got filled. Not this one, because that's just the wick. It's okay to view it as the wick, but right now that can be the real imbalance for you. And now that you also did took out that candle, and that one made then this push down, is definitely a nice example to go for a potential long if you want actually to target this, right? That's what you can target as a minimum in many cases. So let's see. Going up higher. Imbalance. Let's see if it gives you a reaction. If you want to go bearish, you need to see right now some form of reaction. You see that it did took it out. So this whole thing now is irrelevant for you at that moment here that this happens. You cannot really expect any bearish reaction only after it did take this out. So now you got an imbalance here. You should expect price to come to this to go up higher. So that would be then, that was like my idea very quick then, the moment this happened. And I said then to myself, no, I expect shorts because that's what my higher time frame is telling me. That's what I see on the higher time frame. So I will like to follow that idea, not going now long. That was like in this case the mistake, because that's exactly what you should do. Coming here, you see feeling really the wick imbalance even perfectly. If this happens, you can go straight into this candle long and go. Take out the high. You see how it's reacting crazy down after this high gets taken out. But you got another inside bar, so it's not relevant for you one more time. Protecting still the low. You cannot put the break even. You can put it to here if you want. Also, that one is not what I would recommend. But yeah, you see, that's the first time bearish pin bar, which can be definitely a confirmation for your setup if you believe that this is your POI to go. In this case, you see on the lower time frame as well, it's just liquidity where it's laying the whole POI. You see that you don't even have a clean imbalance at this area anymore. So it's automatically liquidity. Even on the M5, no imbalance anymore left. So it's technically not valid to take this pin bar because you're not into the right POI anymore. And when you see these things, you should already rethink like the full idea. Everything should be, you should rethink that. And to just go straight, maybe, hey, just hold you long. Maybe we will go straight long now from this case. Now, I know it's quite hard to make like this kind of conclusion at the end, because also for me, it was like impossible today to do that. But that's what happened.
Darius, kurze Frage.
Klar.
Wenn du jetzt, hier hast du ja gesagt, du hast dann schon überlegt, long zu gehen. Wenn ich sowas jetzt sehe, dann würde ich immer erwarten, dass der Markt halt diese Liquidität nimmt und irgendwie hier den Wick oder die Imbalance füllt. Warum würdest du das jetzt in dem Fall nicht erwarten?
Okay. Erkläre ich dir. So, he asked right now why I didn't wait it for price to take out this liquidity and then to go bullish if I would have had the bullish bias. Very simple. You see that you got just like this crazy candle in this case. And that's like your range. All you need, if price should maintain the bullish order flow, it needs to come to this. It needs to fill that. So if it taps it, it's filled. The full imbalance, of course, should come till here to fill it. But that is like the first part of the imbalance. So it doesn't need now to take it out, just tap into it. That's enough. It can take off. That's like, you need to understand that this is your demand range. It's just one candle in this case. That's like the other candle. So that's exactly where the imbalance starts. Based on these two candle movements, that's the imbalance. It just needs to fill that, and that's it. No need, oops. No more needed. Okay. So now, again, here, trying to look for any confirmation. Like I said, that one could be technically something. It's not the one which should be at the end valid, just because of the fact that it is not at the right POI. So I also understood that at that point still, it's not okay to take this one. You see inside bars, inside bars, inside bars. And that was actually, I think that was the entry that I did took. Was it this one? No, that was not such a candle. That one. That one was then my candle confirmation, because I said, okay, cool. Maybe it's now really ready to go down. Let's have a look on a higher time frame where we've been. Yeah, mapped out also 1 hour. So I tried out everything to support my idea at any point at that day. Just said, what do we got here? You see, you got 1 hour here, imbalance, 1 hour here, drag it how you prefer. So I just said, okay, cool. Filling 1 hour imbalance, maybe looking for some shorts. After that will happen. Cannot really see that well right now. Just go to M15. Yeah, exactly. So that was like here, the imbalance after this full liquidity till here is where I can fill it, or till here to take out the high, depending on how market will move. So I just believed, hey, cool. We got this bearish closure after we did took at the high. I've seen everything is filled. No real imbalance anymore. So I said, cool, we will go and target this. We will go now at least till here. That was like the perspective to it. Came into it one more time to fill this imbalance. I said, cool, nice. And then, yeah, it took me out very fast. So you see, the imbalance that it filled at the end was just this shit here. You see, it respected this pretty hard. And also that one can be already something which speaks against you. Now I wouldn't say to this type of imbalance, hey, that's the one which will speak against me. 100% not. Would never classify it like that. That's why I didn't as well today. But just for you to understand why the market always runs purely on of imbalances. You can also see here, filled. This filled. This filled. This filled. This filled. This filled. Now this filled. This, and it's pushing up higher by filling all these imbalances the whole time. And that one, if the POI would have been correct, would be your movement to the downside.
Isn't it? Sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Isn't this same? Like both of them, would you classify this as a inside bar? Because it wasn't engulfed, yeah?
Yeah, inside bar. So I qualified inside bar like that.
Both are the same, almost the same, right?
Yeah, but you see,
Mhm.
that one didn't took it out.
Okay. And it's
So
with the wick.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
the main difference, because if
Cool.
you swap like a high, it's like the charge, the change of character, because you swap the high and then you go
Okay,
down.
Okay.
And this one is just internally something. So it's no movement, because normally if they execute the order, right, it's like
Yeah.
this is the order. That could be the order at that peak, and then it's dropping it down. But an order, I mean, of course, could be also execute like here, and then that's the reaction. But that's very rare the case. Maybe you see something like that in Asia session because they don't have that much money. But in a London session, normally, usually, it's something like that. That if it's such a candle followed by an inside bar, then that one bullish candle needs to be like crazy up with a big wick. And then you may say, okay, maybe now I need to use the inside bar because you are in the correct POI and there is no more up movement possible. It's always like if you have like this is your POI, that's the imbalance the price needs to fill. And you would have had like a big bullish candle, and that big bullish candle will come till here. Now in a situation like that, and then it's rejecting with a nice wick, and then it's closing here somewhere bearish inside. I would not really expect price now to go and run that candle one more time and then to go down, because that's super rare, such a situation, because you are already almost at the top. Now, if that happens somewhere here, I would prefer to wait, because then price could still come up higher. So
Yeah, I had this entry, like this one, and then I saw pin bar in here.
Mhm.
All from left. I didn't just was on 1 minute, always like something on the left. Then I thought this, and then I saw, again, bullish candle, and then I got this hanging man. This was my last trade. I took it. And then I was like,
okay.
I know. First was this one, so basically 3 trades a day. If I don't get it, ciao, another day. That's it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, but let's say now, if this example will be, and then you will got bearish reaction, and then coming from the left, you would obviously take an entry, right?
Yeah, so that will be again such a confirmation, especially right now, because it's just going one more time up higher. But you need to understand what is now, how is the situation. In this case, you have like this clean imbalance, so you could just wait now for this, and then going down.
Yeah, exactly, more safe. Yeah, we were all today more so just one way biased because of size, right? So,
Exactly.
Darius, at the beginning of the session, you said you'll be trading New York session because you haven't capitalized something today, right?
Yeah.
I want to make this question because I want to understand the way you think. Is this in your plan, or is it something that you?
Yes.
I mean, you have to win every day or something?
No, no, I don't have to, but I like to.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's very optional. So it's a lot of, it's a more emotional thing about am I going to trade New York or not? Like this day, was it for me right now that frustrating that I say, okay, I really don't have right now today the golden hand, or I don't know, to really make profits today, and I feel like, okay, I'm not motivated at all. I think I'm just going to make losses. If that is like the mindset that I have for that moment because of the losses that I did took in the London session and Frankfurt session, then I'm not going to trade to New York, because it makes absolutely nonsense. But if I say, hey, cool, I like the opportunity, I like what I see, hey, I go for it. Some more riskier or less riskier, depending on how confident I am about what I see at the end.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, also yesterday, for instance, I traded the New York session in the, within the news, but of course, just on the challenge account, not on the funded account or on the personal account, something like that, because I was like, big news which occurred at that time, so I was not too confident. I cannot even remember that good on the entry, if I'm honest. Need to check it out. Yeah, I shared that. Let's just speak about that one as well. But let's just finish this first on how it's moving here. Yeah. So you see, it's not even filling the imbalance. Nothing. Can be future. Can be liquidity here. Can grab that liquidity to go up higher. Boom. Yeah. You see, that was like that one inducement pattern in it. So we see here that was the liquidity. Now was still the imbalance that it needed to fill. So you see, when you got like this speaking so hard against you, this small candle, especially after like this, that's a trending market. It needs a big fuel of liquidity to see price then dropping down. And if this one here was not able to drop it down, and this whole thing here is just imbalance, now of course it will fill that imbalance, but that's just the trap supply zone from the start. Price will not ensure you that price, will not give it to you, will not give you the movement down. Can give you a move down, yes, but it won't give you like that one that you are looking for. So here in this case, that was a nice long opportunity. That didn't give you the perfect confirmation, but that is your inducement. Move up, down, and then fill the imbalance to take out the high. Okay, so it happens a lot. Try to look for it if you see, but at the end, like I said, it's just the imbalance concept which will be followed. That's just automatically the liquidity for it, and then moves up into the POI. And then of course you need to expect price to run the high. You see this, it's not ideal. Again, it's not very ideal. You can take it because it looks quite aggressive. I would still in this case look for price to come to fill the imbalance, and then to expect price to go down, something like that. But if the timing is like, it's a couple of minutes before 11 o'clock, before the dead zone is starting, 20 minutes, the chance that you will now see a crazy counter movement after such a big movement in the whole Lana session was just pushing up higher. Yeah, I don't know. Quite unrealistic. Of course, they could take profit or something, but you see, it's not happening. Yeah. Let's see where we're right now. I'm super curious. Did we push up higher or not? Oh, this is ugly as fuck. Do we have news today? Let's check. What type of news? Tuesday. Yeah, no, not really.
Tomorrow, bro, tomorrow. London,
Tomorrow, yeah.
Frankfurt, CPI, stay away.
Yeah, again CPI.
So we can skip probably Frankfurt tomorrow.
Let's see. Maybe it's providing. So I'm going to look tomorrow CPI. This type of thing. Like it did here.
I know
Just
what you
this
mean,
type
yeah.
of thing. Just maybe bigger movements, bigger things. Maybe we'll do something like that.
I want to ask you, like for the FTMO, like since I love their like commission wise and stuff, it's so small. What about the slippage? Like, is it okay? Like,
Yeah. No problem.
Because I know I'm on True Forex funds, but I'm not that good yet as you, like $7 per lot, with
Yeah,
these small lot sizes, it can be like
Yeah,
you
no,
know what I mean?
that's not that funny.
In few
but
months, I
yeah.
will be there. I will be better than you.
Yeah, so like I don't know what to say. It's like they are very similar, True Forex funds and NFT. I
The best
cannot
one, right?
Yeah, I just like True Forex funds more because of the price. So when I take the same trade on FTMO and in True Forex funds, I always have more profits at the end on True Forex funds. Just
Really?
because, yeah, I don't know why. It's like I hit the bottom, and
What?
whenever
But
it is at that level, True Forex funds takes me automatically in, while FTMO gives me a little bit worse price.
yeah, because spread is bigger as well. That's why, and True Forex funds has 0.3, something like that. Geo, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a little bit of difference, but not really manageable. I would say it's okay.
It can be, you know, if you have ton of losses, example, if you or like 5, 6 in a row, it can be, even if you risk 0.5, it can be like 2 times more because of commissions loss, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's why
true.
you need to be that good as you to go, at least my opinion, for true forex funds, because commission is really big based on how we trade, you know, and stop losses. But yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No problem. It's definitely good to talk about these things. But so at the end, also when it comes now to payout and all these things with FTO and true forex funds, they are both very good, very fast, and so on. There are other prop firms who take longer and so on. So I would say at the end, no matter which one you choose, you will be good with both.
I'm already true forex fund, like funded like you, but FTMO I want to try it as well, like maybe with this approach, because it's smaller commissions, you know. Only thing is now I don't know, with news something, it's 2 minutes before or
exactly.
after.
Yeah, that was the point. That's the point why I like true forex funds more, because
I know.
You can trade news, you can hold over weekends. I'm not sure right now of FTMO if you can hold over weekends. I think yes or no. No, I'm not sure. Not sure right now.
Only
But you
on swing accounts.
cannot trade news. You can?
On swing accounts.
On
Swing.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you can. I mean, I have no deal with that because since 2 years I have never
basically props cons for FTMO is just news, right? Like you need to wait 2 minutes. Maybe you will be in the trade after that. Like, that's the only thing maybe.
Yeah, it's a little bit bad because right now, like today, I couldn't be able to trade this on an FTMO account for instance.
Yeah, I saw as well on FTMO.
So,
it was just weak.
Yeah.
Did you saw what I mentioned you once about True Forex Fund before? You had like 4 hours. Did you saw like how its price fit is completely different than other
the chart?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I noticed. Today I noticed it.
Just on higher time frame, on 1 minute is the same. Because they have own data price fit, I guess, as well.
Yeah, I've seen there's something with the high was run, but on FTMO not.
Exactly, I saw it as well.
Opposite is it?
That's why you said, right? That's why you said you go from forex.com analysis. Yeah.
Exactly. I watch that chart when I'm looking on the phone and so on, but I do not care about, okay, did it fill the imbalance now on true forex funds? I always look on TradingView that this one is filled, and then I close on that moment.
Okay. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Yeah, so basically for me, expectations are right now, maybe it's so hard. Maybe we'll go really to fill this now and then go down. So now the kill zone started already, but I can't see any trades. Maybe this. Let's see. Maybe it will push like this, push down, and then we can look for the long to target at least this first. But then it needs to go up higher. I would say we will come to this level before we can then expect some movements to the downside. I think that's going to be the plan.
I wanted to ask you something again,
Yeah.
About 1 hour today. Was any particular reason that you would watch the 1 hour as well?
No. I just because M15 didn't give me, like, I've had a look on this. I had like already that weird feeling. I said, which one is now the true imbalance? It doesn't look great. So I tried to support it in that case with the 1 hour to see if the 1 hour will give me something. So that's, like I said, 1 hour is for me super optional. And
exactly, that's why I asked.
Okay, and you see, it's also not really an option at the end, because if you can't see it on the M15 properly, more than likely it's all liquidity.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's see what New York will give us. Let's just hop on the trade from the New York session from yesterday. The New York session was, like I said, not that bad. News have been, I think, here on 230. Yeah, so it dropped automatically down. You see how it gave you perfectly? Yeah, that's what I talked about. when price, see, look at this. We dropped down, cleared Asia low, pushed back up to fill the imbalance. And now look at this. You want to take a short position, right? The only one where it's trying to give you the confirmation to go for such one is here at the trap supply. For us, that should be clean, that this is not the one that we should look for. So what they're doing here automatically is giving them the confirmation, because price just wants to go down. It's not filling the imbalance, because the imbalance will be left for the future, as you can see here already. But it wants to fill this, so to grab the liquidity, to be able to push price up higher. And then if you're looking in this price here within the imbalance to see how far will we go, because potentially price can reverse at any moment when price taps into the imbalance. And you see that is that one candle to scare you, blah, blah, blah. Closes inside everything, comes down, not even filling imbalance, nothing, but continues straight up higher. And then you see strong movement. That's actually the candle to scare you, this strong candle. And then you got the bearish confirmation with the pin bar, with the sweep, everything that we want to see. And that's when you can execute it immediately. If you don't see that very fast, or it's already, the next candle is already printed, then where is your next chance? Exactly. When price is taking out this candle here, comes to fill here the imbalance. So you could put your sell limit already like this, if you prefer sell limits. And if you're the type of trader like I'm doing it, you're not putting it like this. You are entering like this after this candle closes, but protecting still the high. To have a 4 pip stop loss, totally fine. Now, okay, it's a little bit of a weird situation because of news do come now in a couple of minutes, but what should happen? You feel the full imbalance at that moment here. Price needs to go down a situation like this. You can wait to see, okay, how will the news react and all these things. You can do that. News pushing price down to do what? To fill the imbalance. Here. Bullish reaction. Pushing up higher. Filling the supply range. Bearish reaction. You see, here it's not that relevant anymore to take like the pin bar. More relevant is always like in this, because now you have already break of structure. You have already bearish context. Now, of course, this one, especially here, can speak totally against you. But that's why it's important to trust your POIs and to say, okay, cool, that's how I view it. So that's the trap demand to do this, okay? So that's why I like to trade news very often, but not necessary to trade the movement, but to trade what happens afterwards, because you have a ton of liquidity. And news are actually very often, you can read them pretty good, because price would just move faster. That's the main difference. And yeah, you see here, you can see how fill this imbalance. Boom, boom, go down. Everything fine, dropping down, continue down lower. Now, when did I took the trade?
Darius, what does this low represents to you? Because to me, this
Which
is
one?
let me mark it. This one, because to me this is maybe a resistance that became support in this area. So I'm not a resistance and support and resistance trader. So
Yeah,
how can I explain to myself that the price will react in this low?
okay, very easy. That's exactly, that's why at the end, I made a lot of jokes about support resistance traders, SMC traders, and so on. The thing is just, I'm joking on them because what they're doing is correct. They're just using it on the wrong moment, wrong timing, and all these things. Support resistance is nothing else than an imbalance that got filled. So here we see the imbalance from here till here. That's the imbalance.
Yes.
The same thing here, what happened was a break of structure for the SMC traders. Now look, SMC traders do look here for their short. Support resistance traders do look in this particular case here for their short on this block. And
That
we
would be like a breaker block, right?
yeah, or break a block. We look specifically at this level where the push started. We broke through it, came back into it, because we need to balance the supply range. We do not need to balance the full imbalance. So the
Okay.
imbalance starts already here, goes
Okay.
till here. That's a very big range. How to minimize that is by looking what you got to the left and to see if price will react to this level, and you see that there is the reaction. You could also, if you are super risky, the soon as price closed bullish in this, just the M1 closure was there, you could also execute that trade. Is a possibility, because you only want to see price tapping into the imbalance and going crazy down. That's what it will give you in a lot of cases. But it's risky, of course, because you want to see price activating something here that it will continue down to go down lower. And that's exactly the moment when support resistance works, but not because of the concept of support resistance, but because of the concept that the institution brought from here the price up to grab liquidity, to fill the imbalance, then rapid movement to the downside, and all they do is to balance this. And that's why these FIP traders do have an advantage in a situation like this, because they just draw this thing here and they always say, oh,
Yeah,
0.5
50% discount, yeah.
yeah, that's exactly why they have here at this point that advantage. But you see, it's not precise. It's just luck at the end, because the next time this thing is lower and it will be here already. The balance area will be here. Now they are all waiting for this 50% thing, but they will not be tagged in, and they don't understand at the end, hey, why is it in this case? In this case, particularly, it worked. It was perfectly. And then they're all making screenshots and saying they're the best, but they have no clue why this thing happened at the end, you know? That's important.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. That's funny, man.
I mean, it is what it is. It's the moment when you view the market like that, you see exactly when all these strategies fail. That's exactly when you truly understand it, because you know what they don't know, and that's exactly an advantage. And at the end, all these systems out there are programmed or are running such a program, because even though you use this 50%, it's totally fine to use that if a bot is doing that for you, because a bot has zero emotions and it doesn't care if he takes now 5, 6, 7, 8 losses in a row. He can maintain risk management on point to the pip, to the percentage, everything. And the next trade will bring it back to profit. And that's why they will make always money, even though it's just 2% for that month. It's okay for a system, and also for the investors, right? Because they put money, they know I will make money. And even if I make 2%, it's better instead of leaving it in the bank. So that's exactly the advantage. And that's why the majority do not care about getting this type of system to make it that perfect. If you really want to like make a lot of and ton of shit of money, you need to have, from my point of view, this type of perspective. Otherwise, you have no chance. And that's also why these hedge funds do exist, because they trade like that. You know, they really understand what they're doing. They know how to reprice. They know where to put their positions and so on. And that's why they make more money than a bot program from a company which claims to make 5%, and they can make 20, 30, 40, 50, 100%, even more. Like I said, I think in the last Zoom call, I told you that there was just one trader who made with GBP USD in one fucking day, $1.1 billion profit, you know?
Huh.
Yeah, I don't think that he made it with support resistance, you know? It's don't really believe in that, because how can he then scale that much money and to really make these profits, you know? So
Yeah.
that's the difference at the end between all these strategies. Maybe they're using even a crazier system. I don't know. I don't really think that there is more knowledge. The only knowledge which you can still gain is like the questions that you ask me. Okay, when do I know that you feel that imbalance, where is definitely the next target to 100% or to a 95%. That's maybe the thing which with time you will see it better and better. Like for me, it's also like that. I see it sometimes I don't see. A day is different than the other one, and that's exactly the problems that you have as a human, because you have emotions will overcome you very often. You will not feel good anymore if you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. Maybe you're down on your funded account, down on your personal account. Maybe something is going on in your life, something negative emotions.
Yeah.
So you bring it automatically in your trading, and you will be automatically down. And I think that if you're trading this standard strategies at the end, it will fuck you so
Yeah.
up. So try to stay here very consistent, trying to understand it. Good that you guys are asking so much questions, especially you, Dino. You're asking a lot of things. Also you.
That's
So
how I learn.
exactly, that's how everybody learns at the end.
Exactly.
And that's also how I learned.
Exactly.
It's-
Yeah.
It's
And
the only
that's-
way, yes.
Exactly. And we already maybe have more experience as well, 6 years in the markets, and maybe some get some idea as well.
Exactly. That's perfectly. That's exactly how it's supposed to be.
That's very interesting about Dino, because he just said he has 6 years of experience, and he's here learning as well as we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congrats.
exactly. 6 years is nothing, man, just to be honest.
Huh.
Yeah, 6 years is really nothing at the end. I mean,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
compared to all people going to college and all these things. I mean, also me, I spent it like 7 years at a higher technical school, and at the end, I didn't even graduated at the end. So it's zero worth nothing at the end. I mean, of course, you had the experience and you've learned a lot of things making this kind of thing, but at the end, now we're thinking, 7 years, nothing, and
Exactly.
the same.
And it's
My
hard that, if you have 6 years experience, or you, example, somewhere, not you, Darius, but the beginners, because you don't have a lot of data in your, a lot of strategies. So it's really good that they learn from you already from beginning, because they will
Yeah.
not complicate at all, It's so
Exactly.
good, like it's really good. You're
That's
like,
definitely a big
guys,
advantage.
you are blessed, I swear. I had tons of these groups, tried smart money concept, everything, like nothing, like just this last year I got somehow profitable, not like in your way, like so consistent. That's why I joined as well, since I want to be more consistent. But yeah, like 5 years of nothing of profit, just that 6 year, then so it takes time, guys, it takes time, but 100% will be much easier for you. I can vouch it, since I tried so many really, this forex gurus, whatever you want to call it, and like it's nothing compared to Darius, and the only one in industry who shows profits and everything else, like doesn't hide nothing, not just like before afters on TradingView, which you can see from another forex mentors, just my heads up, to you too, Darius. Thank you for your time and everything.
Thanks, man. Really
No problem.
appreciate that.
I'm just being honest,
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I also started the same. I think we went a very similar path, because also for me was a very long time trying to deal with all these mentors. Everybody taught me just shit at the end. All these patterns, these indicators.
Exactly.
The SMC was definitely, for me, the SMC phase was the hardest, because it was so at first time it was mind-blowing to understand how it works, or to understand liquidity. That was the first time I really understood what liquidity is. But to use every fucking order block the whole time, and to see how every time stop loss would hit, and then 3 sell limits the whole time, and then they say one day, it's that order block, then it's that one, and no rules behind it, no explanation.
And you forget to say, like it's all about risk to reward ratio, right? Before you get one trade, like you lose 10 in a row, and then you win one, and then they say like, yes, you already break even. What about commissions? What about the spread? What about the, there's no way. There's no way.
Really no way. So
like, it's hard. Like if you have so many, like.
That's true. So I don't even know one single SMC trader who really makes like 1 to 20s very often or something like that, or who can share that or show that transparency.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's very interesting the way that you're understanding how natural it is, because when you explain the way that you are analyzing markets, sometimes I'm afraid of you, because it's like you manage the whole market in a way that it's like your mind. It's so fucking unbelievable the way that you understand the fucking market way. Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, you might have something in your mind that you're not showing to us, because I mean, in a funny perspective, okay? Because
Yeah. I understand.
it's a lot of naturality, man. I
Yeah.
don't know how you do it. I don't know.
Okay, I can also tell you something, because I got a friend of mine who started with me trading 4 years ago, 4.5 years right now already, and we started in that one network company thing, and we went through all strategies together through support resistance, and then when we came across SMC, I mean, he was the first one who discovered supply demand from Atlas on YouTube. That was a very popular one at that time. Now he doesn't exist anymore, and he shared like a strategy to enter on a higher time frame supply demand with very nice rules to really get the entry and so on. And that was like the first time when we then hit it risk rewards and so on. So before that, we only made like standard things, right? So normal risk reward, 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. And that was the first time we hit it at 1 to 12. So we came across supply demand. And then at some point he gave up. So he said, okay, it's not for him anymore, because he was just losing money and so on. The moment when we started with that one high risk reward thing, because that was like definitely the hardest phase also for me. I had only bad emotions at that time. It was, I don't know, very hard, at least, definitely. And now then when I said to him, hey, yo, I'm still in contact with him. We still meet a lot of times, and we talk a lot about trading and so on, and then try to teach him. So he's also trading on demo and so on. And then he's still struggling, even having me showing him exactly. So it's like I talk to you guys, but talking to him is maybe a little bit different, because he's here live with me. We look at the charts. I try to explain him. He still doesn't really get it. It just takes time. So I just compare him right now. Him and a few months ago, he had zero clue about anything. He traded different strategies, then coming across to see, okay, that's imbalances, that's how I need to follow. It just shows me it really takes time, and every single individual takes different time at the end. So maybe for him, maybe it will take still a few months until he will finally get a prop firm funded account and so on, because it's not that easy. Even though you have the rules, even though you know how it works, it will still take time. That's just what it is at the end,
Yeah, I got it.
Exactly. It calls like market IQ. Like you trade your everybody trades your beliefs, but when you talk and trade, you're thinking as it goes, so everybody has, I will buy, and then all our minds today, example, we were selling, right?
Yeah.
So we forgot about the buys, and you as well, but
exactly,
it can happen to you as well. So yeah, you need to be like smooth with the market, like you are. Yeah. And that's, even though you are learning, teaching us every day, single time, same stuff, everybody will be like a little bit different perspective, because every eye sees differently. But when you do like all the time same as you do Zoom calls, it comes to, they will get it 100%, because I already get it, and I'm just here from 20th of March. But it's so easy when you explain it, it goes into the head. Like you have every single question back behind it, you know what I mean? So you're not like, it's intuition maybe a little bit, but you have everything like reason behind it. So that's why I really, really love it as well.
Thanks, it's like you have the answers to all the questions that we have to make to you, man.
Exactly. And without hesitation, he answers immediately. So he knows what he speaks, Not like
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Other people, but props to you, man. Props to you. In this age, this small time of trading, man. Really good job.
Thank you.
We are blessed, guys. We are blessed. This is a joke. Like,
I mean that the thing is, that was like, for me, always in trading was a big deal, that I haven't had like explanations for everything. And I was like, maybe it's because I was in a school, and when I needed to learn something, that was always a big problem of mine. It was like, the whole book, hundreds of pages. So you need to understand everything about that. Now, for me, it was always hard to really to learn it, because when I start learning something, it's like I want to know everything, not just, the most important information. Of course, you go through it, the most
I know what you mean. Yeah, you
the
learn it, then you plateau somehow, but
Yeah.
you want it more, obviously, yes.
Exactly. So in trading was the same. That was like what confused me at the beginning so crazy, because I bought like my first course and I had like thousands of questions and there was nobody to tell me the answers. Then buying the next mentorship and so on to collect all the information.
Yeah, just go back test and make your own rules,
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
This is what you get from all them, man. Like, go back test, you will get it.
Yeah. It needs to fit you. It's always like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, but you have everything. Like every day we go. I mean, 2 times a week, and that's enough, guys. Like, we need to value his time as well. But really, again, thank you. Like, much appreciated. Really,
You're
one of a
welcome.
kind. One of a kind.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not even over exaggerating. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody put it in the message that delicious magic.
Yeah.
Trust me, I tried a lot of these famous forex groups as well, and yeah, it's
the problem is also the more
even though you said about lit as well. Yeah, I don't want to say nothing, but yeah, like the lit as well. So yeah, I tried that as well. I tried that as well. If that will work, I will not be here.
You've been in their channel or what?
Yeah, I'm as well there as well. I was
Okay.
and WWA as well, but yeah.
Okay.
A lot. I don't want to do this on your call, but yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. No, because also me, I mean, my problem was always the more famous somebody was on Instagram, it was like,
yo, I signed the NDA, so be quiet.
Yeah.
This NDA doesn't mean nothing, This NDA, come on, man. This NDA doesn't. I don't give a crap about this NDA. Like, I'm in Europe. They are like from, like, this is just marketing stuff, like,
It's
obviously,
all
but
marketing.
yeah,
Everybody's just scared of leaks and all these things, and then they would not make money anymore. It's
you better guys don't leak this. So yeah, we will find you. We will find you.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I like, yeah. Even though if it's leaked, people will still not get it.
I know. That's the thing, because I it was leaked a few times, but only the old course. So that was more just the advanced SMC. And then when I've seen they claimed, because I was always in touch with these leakers, and they always just claimed to, oh yeah, but we will leak your newest course and so on. And I said, okay, if you won't do it, I said, you're just making wrong promises the whole time, because at some point it's still bad for me, because if it got leaked, people are watching it, they don't get it, don't understand it, and they say it doesn't work. That's the only thing when I say, okay, that's maybe a problem, but I cannot make it for everybody right. It's impossible and so on. And
exactly. And trust me when I say this, when people get something for free, they will not put this kind of input, because it won't be the same, as you pay for something and you then make it work, But
that's true.
Like, just feel.
Darius, you said yesterday that you were working to provide some updates on the information that you had in your course. Can you give us a little bit of information about it? Is there...
So just trying to look, I need to rewatch it myself now, the course a little bit, to see what I need to change and whatnot. Mainly, I would like to still stick to this type of learning, that like the Zoom calls should be like the real mentorship, to really provide the full information, because at the end the rules aren't that tricky or something. I would say it's more than likely just to get the feeling for the market, to understand why it is in that flow, and that's impossible to learn it in a course. So I try to add maybe a couple of videos there, just to have more basic knowledge, maybe about imbalances, to understand more why the market moves like that and that way.
I would say as well that, like, since I watched all your videos already 2-3 times already, and I have like this photographic memory as well, and good memory. I saw it, like, your latest videos are much better and always evolving compared to the old ones, which you mentioned in order blocks and stuff. So people can maybe get some wrong idea how you do it now, liquidity imbalance,
right.
everything, you know.
Yeah, right,
And
yeah.
they're still asking about questions in
Yeah.
groups, you know, like I noticed as well, like this order block and that, you
Yeah.
know. Maybe
Yeah.
you can do that. Yeah, update that
Sure.
people do something.
That makes a lot of sense. That was also what I noticed, because it's like I haven't watched now the course by myself. It's a long time now. I need to rewatch it. Of course, also myself, I improved a lot now the last couple of months and so on. And maybe I definitely need to update maybe the full course. So I tried to make it to see now today what I'm going to change and what not. Yeah, definitely something which will
Good,
be
very
improved.
good.
Yeah, maybe also Discord don't have good plans yet. Now
Maybe you
just-
should have some, I don't know, some mods or somebody helping you as well,
Yeah,
you know, maybe like
yeah.
that, like support or whatever.
Yeah, also that's also what I had in my mind. So yeah, let's see. Trying to do.
But yeah, once again, we're blessed, man. Really, thank you really much. Appreciate it.
Welcome. That's the most important thing. Trading.
I-
That's what everyone should stick on.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
That's why we're all here. Okay, great. So definitely thank you guys for your time. It was very nice Zoom call.
Thank you,
Um,
Ron.
Let's see what happens on New York. Let's see if I get the idea, if I think I know what will happen, or the highest chance what will happen. I mean, right now we just tapped into this M15 imbalance. You see also the reaction isn't that bad because it gives this one. It is also here in the refined PY. Still, what I don't like about it, just to say up front, is you still have, let's see, in the full M15, still here. You still have this. You see, it's already there, you know? It's I don't think that this now will, oops. This will make now the movement. Can be, there's the liquidity, but should not really be the case. Yeah, boom. Now from here, if here you get the confirmation, look for it, maybe. Because you see that's equal highs right now. I'm just not sure if that is the high because it's created in the dead zone. That's my only thing about right now. Why I would say, not too sure about that. Also here, you still have imbalance here. So that could be in general the trap for price to come down. So when I got like this type of situation where you have so many options, it's what I don't enjoy by myself to look for the trades. Now look, it's still in this. So I just hope that's not that one here. Okay. You see, the candles will provide you so often, will save you, and will give you the true confirmations. That would be right now, the bullish pin bar could be already an option to go for.
Do you consider the 15-minute order block is so obvious that could be a trap?
That's what I'm not sure about it. Because it's the same, you know, look at this. That one was taken out, but didn't the full imbalance.
Okay.
It's the same situation again, like this here. You know, you tapped into it, but this one grabbed the low, and then it was able to come up higher. So you have right now a very similar situation just internally here. Now, if it would have grabbed this, I would be quite sure that this will happen. But because it's internally now, it's just liquidity. And that's why it can just fill this imbalance to hunt a high, then to come here. You know,
Very interesting.
that's why I have right now so a little bit in my head. But now what I also like to do is, you know, it's 1:38. It's now very close to 2 o'clock. So that you can view the New York session similar to Frankfurt and London, because Frankfurt is from 8 to 9. And then from 9, it's London. Now here the same from 1 to 2, it's like the Frankfurt. And then from 2 to the other ones, you got the other times.
Okay.
You can have this perspective as well, to just wait if you don't see it properly.
Okay.
Great. Well, then that's it for today, guys. Sorry, EURUSD can't give the best advice for that. Haven't checked it now, if I'm honest, the last couple of days now. Cannot even see where we are by time frame and so on. Yeah. Looks bullish to me. Grab liquidity, push up higher. You see, it's similar also here. That is the one imbalance. Starting from here, this is maximum pullback. Here you got the imbalance. Maybe pushing up higher. Sorry, didn't check now. EU need to check that a little bit more into the depth to give you better advice on that.
Yeah, I think we have the similar situation in 15 minutes because we have this order block.
Yeah.
And we have imbalance.
It's almost same as the Geo, yeah. Almost
Yeah.
same today. Like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see how they went again? They ignored this, and they went
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
extreme. So maybe this for other next time, if we have this kind of, you know, again, similar concept, we rather wait for extreme than we
Yeah.
got caught in here.
Exactly.
So we can learn. We all learn today.
Yeah, that's definitely a good example.
Evan Darius, 100% win ratio. Done.
Also for me, that was very good. That happened.
Done and dusted. He's not anymore, guys. 100%. I'm joking.
Now Mr. 0% today.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, guys. Thanks for your time. See you then on Thursday.
Likewise. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Darius.
Have
Bye-bye.
a great day, guys. Bye.
Pretty good stream, no?
Yeah, really good, man.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
Have a good one, guys.
Great.
Bye.
Bye-bye.